Now I call upon the second speaker of this session, Dr. Murahari, setup and position, video demonstration, portals and arthroscopy of the knee. Dr. Murahari, please. So once you have made the correct portals, you do not struggle with the arthroscopy. So this is a basic and a very important session.
Good morning to all the seniors and all the delegates here. I thank all the organizers for inviting me to this talk. And I hope this talk is only for the beginners, and some tips may be useful for even the seniors also, as I've been practicing for the past 15 years. For an effective surgical procedure, you need to see that all the things are in place. Otherwise, your surgery may go wrong, or you'll be frustrated and that procedure may get long. So be careful, and before you scrub, see things, because for the beginners, please see that you have everything and all the instruments. Okay. First thing, this is the basic thing is we need to view the arthroscope. We have to do these 5 things in place. This is the arthroscopic tower, what we call. That is, should have 5 things. That is the first thing: a monitor, the camera, the light source, the shaver system, and the recording system. So just a brief few words about this one. First thing, please see this picture. This is actually the first arthroscopic procedure was connected by the Takagi of Japan. And later Watanabe, his student, also developed this. It was so difficult just by watching this through eye stethoscope. But fortunately, we are due to surgical, all the innovations in the technology. We have multiple monitors, and we have the high definition and high quality video recording. This camera system. And the light source, this light loads to view, you need to illuminate that joint. So I need a light source. From previously, we used to have the white light source in the initial days. Then we got the halogen, the xenon, now the latest is the LED light source. But any light source will do. And this is the most important part in this arthroscopic procedure. You need to have a good motorized shaver system, so that half of the work will be done by a shaver. Even if you don't have punches also, you can go with the shaver. And normally we have different blades for this. Please see here. And there are 2 times. Most of the distributors, they don't tell that about, they use usually the foot pad. But please ask for a hand controlled, because it is easier to control your speed. You can just switch over to the burr, to burr, or the normal revolutionary method. So ask for a hand control method. And you can have different types of shaver blades, but one thing is 2 blades is very important. That is, one is the burr to exercise the osteophytes or the exercise the condyle thing. Next, second thing is the 4 mm aggressive cutter. These 2 blades is enough for your normal routine arthroscopic procedures. But the 4 mm aggressive cutter, the other thing is the one burr. And recently we have got all-in-one, except the shaver. You have got the light source and camera in one unit. And the last of our list is the the recording system. This recording system is very useful even for your all the legal opinions nowadays, because everyone is showing. And be sure that you have record all the part of the video, and at least before completing the procedure or during start the procedure, take the patient face, so that first thing you have the record for the patient, that is his video. Because I had an embarrassing situation around 10 years back. When I was showing that was the major osteochondral flap in a young boy. So this is your video. The patient attendance, is this my son's video? How can I make it? So then I started taking the patient's face along with the next of the initially before recording. So this will help you to in further legal opinions, or even for the explanation of the patient also. And latest technology is just got through the internet. This is pencil scope. And coming to the normal instrument part, this is normal arthroscope. What we use in the arthroscope is 4 mm standard 30 degrees. That is enough for all the major joints: knee, shoulder, elbow, ankle. That's 4 mm 30 degrees is the standard joint. And For viewing, if you want them in 70 degrees scope, you can for the posterolateral or the posteromedial, you can use the 70 degrees scope. But 4 mm 30 degrees is enough. You have both the scopes 70 degrees and 30 degrees. And different makers have different trocar and cannulas, and each doesn't fit to the other things. So be sure that you have the same scope and same trocar cannula system. And the next thing is instruments. 3 instruments can have one punch. The main thing is the first thing is it's a probe. Arthroscope is called extension of the arthroscopic finger. The second thing is you need to have one grasper to remove any loose bodies and to remove meniscal fragments, arthrochondral flaps, something. The third thing is you need to have one punch at least, a good punch with, to excise the meniscus or the ACL or the PCL the debris. And the normal punch, this is best punch is the forearm, this broad line abbiter. That is 15 days broad line abbiter is enough to do all the punches. Though you are affordable enough to buy all the punches, but if you want to buy one, better buy broad line abbiter. That is enough. You can do everything. And how do you sterilize the instruments? Because in the small setups in the small towns, you don't have get the E2O to sterilize all the instruments. The best thing is steam autoclavable is only for the arthroscopic manual instrument, trocar cannula, the punches, the grasper, everything. Then how about the camera cables, light cables? There, one thing is you can put in the Sidex, not the cable. You can is the formalin chamber. What normally all the people use in India is the formalin chamber in the small places, or you can U2 it. I mean, ethylene oxide, you can sterilize them. But normal, you can put at formalin tablets, at least for honor. And this scope, you can put in the Sidex, at least half an hour before the procedure. And the most important thing, you need to have a tourniquet to do an arthroscopy, knee arthroscopy. And the other thing is the irrigation fluid. Irrigation fluid, normal pressure, you need to 60 to 80 mm mercury. And the normal fluids, what you use is the routine is the normal saline. And the glycine for you, whenever you are using underwater cautery, that the underwater cautery probe, sometimes you need to use glycine. The glycine probe doesn't work in the normal saline. This is the arthroscopy radiofrequency ablation. Okay, coming to the position. This position is very important so that you can maneuver all the joints and all the compartments of the joint. So, for you can see the right side, this left side. This is the what we do the ACL reconstruction. A foot holder, this foot holder about 70 degrees, 90 degrees flexion, and tourniquet above here. Please try to wrap the tourniquet with polythene cover so as to prevent the dripping of the saline and the betadine, so as to unsoil the tourniquet. The second thing, the other side is this. This is called what I call the universal position for all other knee arthroscopy, because in this position you can do all the procedures. It's very effective and easy for you for all the, because the surgeon has access to all the 270 degrees. And the leg holder should be correctly at the level of the tourniquet. Where you place the tourniquet, the leg holder should be on the level of tourniquet so as to maintain stress to open the compartment from the medial side. So coming to, if you want to do a normal arthroscopy, you want just doing the meniscectomy or just a dual body removal, just the patient can be supine with the leg hanging sidewards. With this, you can manage with this one. No need of the ACL reconstruction, but the universal position. But normal arthroscopic procedures, just put the leg down, and you can in the figure of 4 position, everything. Sorry to say, I forgot something. One tip is here, I forgot to say, is all the arthroscopic tower, I keep it everything always on my right side. don't switch for the contra side. Most of them, if they were doing right knee, they keep it on left side, and we're doing the left knee, we're doing right side. I think unless we are right-handed, so it's better to keep on the right side. Second thing is, we're moving the arthroscopic, we may damage the structures. So I think this position always on the right side is better. And the irrigation fluid, the cautery, and it should be on the left side. So it will be easy for you to maneuver. Even the recording system will be on the right side. Right side. The video is not working. Sorry. Before going to the examination and analysis is a very important step, because sometimes you may be seeing MCL laxity, or when you are doing going for ACL, sometimes the MCL laxity will be there, or the lateral collateral laxity there, PCL is there. Because after analysis, even the MRI shows that grade 2 tear, grade 3 tear or something, please try to examine before going to actual procedure. For effective surgery, please try to mark. Surface mark is very important in arthroscopy. And making of portals to be accurate, you need to mark. Okay, the normal is the patella. You can see the patella here, the patella tendon, and the patella tubular tuberosity. And coming to the portal placement, the standard anteromedial and the standard anterolateral portals. These are the just at the level of the inferior pole of the patella, 5 mm away from the patella tendon. Please don't put your incision just beside the patella, because it's difficult to maneuver the scope. The patella tendon may be hindering the scope. So be away from the patella tendon, 5 to 7 mm away from the patella tendon. They're just inferior to the patella, inferior pole of patella. You may give this vertical. For the beginners, the vertical incision may be easy for you, but the transverse incisions later on you can transverse incisions, they are more cosmetical. And you have coming to the first the anterolateral portal. This is called the weaving portal, where we introduce the arthroscope, and you can see all the compartments with the anterolateral portal. And the anteromedial portal is called the working portal, where you maneuver the instruments and do all the meniscectomy arthroscopy procedures. One thing is, for the PCL reconstruction, we need to have high anteromedial and a low anterolateral. Because high anteromedial, because you need to shave all the things. We have to go posterior and shave the PCL stump. And the low anterolateral, because you are putting a guide wire through the anterolateral for the medial condyle. The system is hanged. Coming to the other portals, we have the lateral superior portal, where we can use it for removal of loose bodies, synovectomies, and arthroscopic patella lateral release, lateral retinacular release. For recurrent patella dislocation, you can use the portal for the lateral retinacular release. Previously, the portal was used for inflow of the fluid. Nowadays, we have both inflow and outflow in the same cannula. The other portals, the anterosuperior lateral portal, is just for even for the synovectomy, or it is rarely used. And the posterior medial portal. Posterior medial portal is useful for the PCL reconstruction and the PCL avulsion fixation. It's just try to palpate with the finger, distal palpation, then introduce the needle, 20 gauge needle, so that it is in place. Then you can give the incision and the posterior medial just below the posterior border of the posterior medial border of the femoral condyle. The other thing is the posterolateral portal. It is rarely used because where the neurovascular structures may be damaged. The standard anterolateral portal. This we are introducing the trocar and cannula. See the difference between when your portal is wrong. See, you can damage the condylar structures, damage the articular cartilage, and even the ACL and PCL. So we try to accurate in placing the portal. The portal just should be above the meniscus. Even while marking, sometimes we may get wrong because sometimes the patella inferior osteophyte may be there, so that we go a bit inferiorly. So that time the joint line may be useful. During surface marking, if you don't take only the inferior patella, please consider the joint line also. Sometimes if for the beginners, when you are putting the anteromedial, if you are difficult in putting the anteromedial portal, just pass the needle so that it is above the meniscus, suprameniscal. Then you incise it. Then this is the anterolateral portal. I mean the lateral superior portal just is about 1 inch above the superior tip of the patella and the lateral. And this is the posterior, as I told you, just pass the needle at the posterior middle edge of the femoral condyle for the posterior middle, usually for PCL reconstruction. And this posterior lateral portal, the same way. The accessory portals which we rarely use, I have not yet used any of this. This is a central transpatellar tendon portal. This is called Gilchrist portal. Maybe it's for the ACL reconstruction. And the proximal mid patellar portals and the accessory far lateral portals. And these are rarely used. And thanks for the organizer for this opportunity.
And thank you, Dr. Murahari. Now we'll go for the third talk by Dr. K.N. Subramanian. Yes. Please come out to the stage to get a memento from the organizer